What's up, y'all? I'm Logan Mills. I want to talk with you about spinnerbaits. I want to help you catch more fish and enjoy bass fishing by avoiding some of the mistakes that I have made. Drop a comment down below and tell me what your favorite spinnerbait is. So now, I want to get into this. Start off, we have the spinnerbait, of course. Break it down into 3 parts, and one of the parts is optional. First, you got your blades. There's tons of different blades. There's Colorado, I can't name any more off the top of my head, but there's just a list. And there's colors too. There's silver, there's even white ones, there's painted ones, gold, all types of different ones. The second part of spinnerbait is the body, which is probably the most important. You have to have that, you know. But this resembles the bait fish. Some of them don't, but this one does. You know, you got the little gills, little eyes. And you also have this part here. This is to hold your skirt and also your trailer. It depends. Sometimes you can throw a trailer without a skirt, or you can throw a skirt with the trailer. Alright, now I want to talk about this is the skirt. So depending on your conditions, that probably determines your skirt and color of spinnerbait you're going to use mostly. Because when I'm fishing clear conditions, I'm using more of like a white, natural, darker color, just so it doesn't, you want it to stand out but not too much. But when it's, you know, muddy water and it's just, you know, not the best conditions, I'm gonna throw darker colors, or I'm gonna throw a bigger spinnerbait. I mean, dark color. I'm gonna throw lighter colors like this chartreuse, your oranges, whatever bright colors, flashiness, just so you get that fish's attention, because they can't see that well when it's muddy. I also want to talk about this is your trailer hook. It's not a normal hook. Eye is very big, so what it's meant to do, just turn it, is to go right on here like this. What it does is it sits like this. I don't personally use one because there's a higher chance you're going to get hung up because it's an extra hook. They can help with, you know, the amount of fish you hook up, but I just rather not use one. And also, well, this is the optional part. You don't have to have this, or you don't have to have a skirt either, but I like to use one. Is this little piece right here. This little piece is what holds your hook on. So you got this hook, you know, it'll come right off. But what you need to do is, usually they just come with this. It just sits pretty much like this, and it makes it where the hook can't go anywhere. But now I want to move in to talk with conditions, because rather than this, don't focus necessarily on the spinnerbait. This is just my example of a spinnerbait, because in my opinion, I can tell you what this bait will do, and you can go out and it might not catch you anything. So I want to talk about finding the spinnerbait that works for you based on your conditions. What I like to fish a spinnerbait in is fall. It's a little chilly, not, you know, 30, 40 degrees, and wind. Wind is a key factor in a spinnerbait, because that wind pushes bait fish down. So my key thing, what I love to fish, is a J. So if like the land makes like a J, so it comes down and it makes like a J. And let's say in this J, there's some stumps, structure, rocks, whatever, you know, is in there. And then the wind is blowing down into that J. And when that wind is blowing down, it blows bait fish down in there. And the bass will sit on these stumps, rocks, whatever. They'll sit back here and they'll ambush. As soon as those bait fish are pushed down in there, because they can't swim against the current. They're not strong enough. And what that structure does leave at the bottom is leave them a little break from it. Like if there's a stump here, wind's blowing in, they might hide behind it. But before they get there, what the bass are gonna do is come out, ambush it. What you do with that spinnerbait, flip it up in there, or on the edge of those stumps. When you're doing it, in my opinion, fishing with the bank like this. This is the bank, you can make your cast up the bank and fish down, rather than fish this, you know, just casting at the bank. But that's just my opinion. And with fishing these stumps, you do have to be careful that you don't get hung, because it can happen. But the spinnerbait is very versatile bait, because and there's different, you know, sizes also. But with this, you could fish it on the bottom, you can fish it up top, you can burn it on top water if you want to. I don't know why you would, but you can. And that's what makes this a very versatile bait. And with that, if those fish are down deeper, you could fish down deeper. If they're up top, you could throw it up top. Back to what I was saying. When if those bait fish are pushed in there, like I said, they'll be ambushed. So when you throw along the edge of the stumps, rocks, whatever it is, you throw it along the edge and you're pulling it through there, those bass will come out and eat it. When they hit it, they absolutely kill it. As you can see in our last video, we, well, 2 videos ago, we talked about spinnerbaits. And then the last video, we actually went out and produced about, I think, 8 fish. I think 8, maybe 7, with the spinnerbait. And they were all healthy fish too. Had one about 3 pounds, it's a good fish. And when they hit it, they kill it. And it's just awesome. It's one of my favorite baits to use. And you can do, there's 2 ways. There's reaction bait, or reaction strike, per se, and match the hatch. Both work. I like matching the hatch, but with these spinnerbaits, you know, think of a bass, right? So they have this checkbox, this checklist, and they have that much time to decide if they're going to hit your bait or not. If you check enough boxes off, they'll most likely hit it. And that's what you want to do with your spinnerbait. But out of everything I've talked today, I think conditions and, you know, where the fish are at is the most important thing. Because if you have fish, you know, and you could throw any type of bait, if they ain't there, they ain't gonna bite. So first you have to find the fish and then work on what you're throwing. Finding the fish and conditions are most important. But that's all I got for y'all today. Just remember, stay tuned, stay hooked also. Ciao.